It's funny. Whoa, 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 whoa. Stop that, stop that, stop that, stop that. Oh, boy, we almost had some DMCA activity afoot. Playing all the wrong music at all the wrong times, baby, baby. Uh, this is once again serving as not only infotainment, but a test of the otters. So, Super Auto Pets music needs to stop playing. Super Auto Pets, the best game ever invented, just so you know. How do I get out of this? Oh, we are still struggling in the streaming streets, but we getting it together little by little. Little by little. Let me turn this off. Okay. I think everything is good. Let me make sure this is actually on the audio channel that it's supposed to be on. Make sure it's actually plugged in. Properties. That looks good. I think we good. But this is Lakeshore on 3, you know what I'm saying? I respect it. I personally think it's gonna be Lakeshore on 2, because if they win tomorrow, which I believe they will, it will be over. So you know what I'm saying? Those last 2 games, formality season, they could you know, they ain't even got to show up to LA. They could just save themselves, you know what I'm saying, flight fare and all that good stuff. You know, save the cost of gassing up the plane. You know what I'm saying? Billionaires like to cut costs when they can. So you know what I'm saying? You don't even need to show up in LA, bro. That's a cross country flight. You need to just stay at the crib. HERMOTHY. I want to do some alliteration, but I can't think of HERMOTHY hangout. I don't know. Oh, that whole link just got cut off. That was about to be bad. Okay, here we go. My bad. we talk. Send tweet. Let me see. Uh, okay. Why is this stream not loading, bro? What's going on? Oh, I still got it on the other scene. Wait, no, I don't. What's going on? Is this broken? What's really happening right now? Vanilla Ice might be a better duo than Hey, man, like real talk. I think so. And I thought that way as soon as they got together and formed like Voltron. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, these dudes both know how to play basketball extremely well. They are unselfish. Reeves, very efficient. You know what I'm saying? Can get to the basket, and he's a better finisher than Ant by the numbers. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't turn the ball over as much as Ant does, and he gets up off of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't even hate on it. What is going on, man? I don't know why this stream ain't working. Well, it's working, but I don't know why the my camera's not on. Let me see. Oh, y'all can see me. Why can't I? I couldn't see me. Okay, my bad. I thought we was cooked out here. All right, we good. Yeah, man, that pass was crazy. That's my job as the arbiter of the Dimesman committee. Not the arbiter. I'm the treasurer right now. I'm trying to be the CEO pretty soon. They had me come up with the name, so you know what I'm saying. It's only a matter of time before I really get some stake in the company and really show people what these Dimesman hours is all about. If you go on my channel, you know what I'm saying. You see, I got mad assist compilations and everything like that. So I try to make sure, try to keep people abreast of the dimery that goes on from time to time. It's just sometimes I don't be watching games, you know what I'm saying? So, well, not, I always watch the Lakers games and stuff like that, but I missed some things. I caught a LaMelo dime like a couple weeks ago, you know what I'm saying? Just to let the people know, because passing is very underrated in the overall discussion with basketball. So I just want to make sure that people, you know what I'm saying, see what's going on out here in the Dimesman streets. I can't remember your name on LG, brother. If I think I got the right person, but it's been a minute. How you been living out here? What is this? Oh, I didn't put my tens unit on. This is about to be a bad time, but it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? We out here living wild and free. I walked all the. Oh, for real. That's love, man. You know what I'm saying? I got to get back on the. I gotta not get back. I gotta make something for this year. You know what I'm saying? Now that I'm out and about moving around, I ain't moving too great, but you know what I'm saying. We still capable of doing some things. Twitter trying to remove charges. Oh yeah, man. Like I do. Yeah, Judah, what's up, brother? How you been living? Um, the talk about charges is interesting to me. I think they should banish Kyle Lowry from the league the way he goes about taking charges. He is the king of somebody already jumped. He slides right under him. A lot of people got bad ankles and wrists because of Kyle Lowry, but that's another story for another day. But I do wonder if they could do something about that. What Jim Pete used to call the pass and crash, because I do not respect the whole like sliding under somebody, even like in obvious jump passing situations. If somebody's jumping across the lane and you know they throwing the ball, don't be sliding under them, bro. Like, come on, that's, you know what I'm saying? And they rewarding it with charge calls. You should just call that a block. I know it's like, how are you going to be able to tell when he's shooting or when he's passing, all this other stuff? But like, bro, get that call out the game. But on the other end, these fellas who just think they can just jump over anybody and dunk on anybody, like, bro, you gotta live with the consequences of your decisions, bro. Like, Ja tried to jump over that man like he was jumping over Tyus Jones. Like, what are you doing? His bounce was impressive though. You see where he jumped from and how close he was to like AD, like where his feet were. Like, I don't understand how he got that high in the first place, but I hope that brother's all right. I don't know if he's gonna be. That brother's he landed stiff fingers first, then hit the back of his wrist. I've never seen nobody break their fall like that. That brother's hand might be cooked, but hope all is well with that brother. If he play in game two, if he don't, I don't, you know what I'm saying? They might be in trouble either way, you know what I'm saying? But hope that brother get well. Hope Giannis gets well, you know what I'm saying? I thought the Heat was a particularly, like, probably the matchup they didn't want to see in the first round in the first place. Not that they were going to win or anything, but I think that they have stylistically, they can give them problems because they kind of have similar archetypes in some respects. And they it was going to be a closer series than I thought people probably thought it was going to be. But the Bucks always lose game one. But if Giannis is hurt, then they might be. We might have to see some superstar Middleton. But he's been, you know what I'm saying, on the road to recovery for about a good 6 months now. So he might not have it all the time. Drew is liable to give you a 4 for 32 night. So we have to see on that. Tyler Hero is missing. So it's a lot of things going on in these series already. But I don't know. I do want to say that both my shooty hoop sons showed up game one. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? My shooty hoop knowing reputation was on the line. It was in the balance. You know what I'm saying? D'Lo and Randall was out here. You know what I'm saying? They was giving me a little scare. You know what I'm saying? A little scare. Well, not really. The beginning of that Lakers game, people were stressing out, bro. I was like, listen. As a process over results guy, the shots that D'Lo was taking, even though he had like 2 rim outs on his first 3 shots, people was losing their minds. Like, oh, this brother, the lights is too bright, man. I'm like, bro, both of them shots was great looks. The rim just hated a little bit. He taking good shots. They open. They in the floor of the offense. Like if you got a problem with what you saw them first couple minutes, and you was on some other time, then we saw he locked in. The rest of the team locked in. And it was just big Hermothy hours from there. Austin Reeves, my dog. I might just post that clip not on Twitter, on here to get some algorithm love. You know what I'm saying? I was one of the first to let you know that Reeves was Hermothy. No, I wasn't, but you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Mike Garcia, my dog, Canyon Driver. Always telling people who the Hoopers is gonna be. And it always comes true for the most part, you know what I'm saying? If those brothers get a chance in the league, at least some of his guys never really got a chance to show what they was made of. Either they got hurt or something like that. But you know what I'm saying? If you want a hoop knower, follow Canyon Driver on Twitter, and all your hoop knowing needs will be sufficiently satiated. Or however you say something like that. I keep confusing myself. I got 2 computers running, and I got a screen with like the display on it, but I'm looking at it and every time I go to touch the computer, I'm touching the one that the stream is running on. But the stream that I'm looking at, not the stream, the camera that I'm looking at is connected to I mean, the computer that I'm looking at on the screen is connected to the other computer, so I'm all out of sorts right now. But I'm trying to I'm trying to share this link again somewhere else. Not I'm about to share it in one of the top secret group chats. You know what I'm saying? Only the elite of the elite basketball minds traffic in this group chat. I don't know. It's invitation only. You gotta pass like a 17 step clearing process. You know what I'm saying? And then maybe you can get into this chat where we talk about real hoop knowing from time to time. Wait, I didn't mean to send the tweet. I meant to send the YouTube link. Let me see. In, get in, losers. God, boy, I'm clumsy. We talking shooty hoops. All right. Hopefully that's all we got to do administratively. Now we back. Any chance Beasley can increase his role throughout the series? His PT getting cut game by game. When I made that video, I tried to tell people like people expected Beasley to be something he largely wasn't from a standpoint of him being like even a halfway complete basketball player. If his shot's not falling, like he's entirely too small on the defensive end, and then he compounds that by not being particularly attentive all the time. I remember it was a play the year they got I think it was the year after the bubble, and there was this play they had a comeback. Orlando had a comeback against the Wolves. They had like a 20-point comeback or something like that, and Cole Anthony hit a three at the end of the game, and it was Beasley's fault. It was Beasley's man, and like during the free throw, I think Dane Moore was like in the arena or something, and he said that Beasley was just like on the other end of the court, just not even thinking about paying attention to what was going on, and that's how Cole Anthony like got free to get that three off. So I say that to say Malik Beasley is not very attentive sometimes. He's gotten better at it over the years of just being a more serious basketball player, like post jail. I'm not gonna say like going to jail did this, but like he's just become like more professional, but he still has a lot of limitations. And then some of those things still creep up. His handle has never been good or like functional really. If he can come off of some handoffs and stuff like that, but he can't create his own offense if it's not in motion. And he's very streaky. He's always been this streaky, even though he would hit him at a high clip and stuff like that. He would always have like a smooth 2 for 10. And then some of the numbers could be deceiving because like he's one, like I don't know if y'all seen me mention this on Twitter. He's one of the greatest stat patters I've ever seen. If the Wolves were down like 15 or something, you could guarantee that Beasley was gonna hit like 3 threes in the final like 2 minutes just to like make it look like it was close, even though it wasn't. He almost won a game like that. I think it was the game that D'Lo messed up, like went out with a knee injury, and they like came back against the Mavericks or something. He scored like 17 points in like 4 minutes or something crazy. But I say all that to say Malik Beasley is a good like ancillary piece to bring off the bench if you're like a team with a little bit lesser aspirations. If his shot's not falling, he just probably won't be on the court, like particularly in the playoffs where they're going to start shortening guard rotations. If Rui keeps shooting like this, the need for that kind of space and kind of lessens as the series goes along. So we'll see. I think if he has a good game too, if he plays, then there might be some avenues for him. I do think he has a role on this team and in this like in the playoff roster, but like I wouldn't count on him being like consistent in any respect at any time soon. But you never know. He has a I used to say he had like a compulsion problem, like and like the way his shot selection and stuff like that, and that kind of dampens down in the playoffs, but still, like if he hasn't shot in a while, he might let it fly. The turnover he had yesterday, he kind of panicked. Like he's very reactionary as opposed to like being in tune with the game plan sometimes. So we'll see. I hope he does, but I wouldn't bet on it. I just told Mike you gave him a shout out. If you in here, brother, shout out to you. You know what I'm saying? Real hoop knowers unite. We got to stick together. You know what I'm saying? In these trying times of hot takes and narratives, we got to stay locked into the film, locked into the skill watching, you know what I'm saying? Locked in to just, you know what I'm saying? Making sure people aren't led astray in these trying times. Oh man, my I just felt the gravity shift in here. Something that uh happens when your back is like really out of balance and like your neck is out of balance and stuff. Like if you're like standing, it just feels like somebody's pushing you forward. So like I just felt like I just got a little forward shove. You know what I'm saying? I got to do some wall sits or something, get these glutes back tight. Uh, the sickness. I mean, the cure became the sickness, man. I was doing a lot of core rotation in my shoulders and stuff, and then like my back just seized up. Like 4 or 5 days into my run as the most limber man in America, it ended swiftly. Like I was out here cooked for the past. I was cooked until yesterday actually, because I have an old mattress. I'm trying to like get a quality one. So like, and mattresses cost like thousands of dollars. So like I gotta go and like find a mattress that I think might be good, go lay on it to make sure I can. Cause if it's a bad mattress, if I lay on the mattress like within the like first 17 seconds, I'll be able to tell if it's good or not. Cause like if it's bad, the whole room will start spinning. Like crazy stuff like that happens. So it's wild out here. But I was feeling better on Sunday. I was able to watch the game with relatively few problems. But the mattress I'm sleeping on, either I can sleep on a spot that messes up my shoulders or messes up my lower back. So I've been alternating. So I was sleeping on the shoulder cook side, so I was able to stand up and cheer for the people. And hopefully I feel, you know what I'm saying, pretty good. Am I working on a D'Lo Laker assist comp or not? Oh, absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Just I got to finish the second half of his assist compilation in general. You know what I'm saying? I got to get the usual suspects, the Jokic's, the Nicholas, the Jokers is his passes. You know what I'm saying? Got to get a LeBron. Shout out to LeBron for missing some some games of the season, so I don't got to download that many of them. You know what I'm saying? Get some Giddy in there, Halliburton. Halliburton's be hard to sift through sometimes because like people were talking about him being like kind of a merchant in the way he collects his assists. And when I did the assist compilation last year, I was kind of grateful that he is kind of a merchant. He's not a merchant, but like he'll have like 7 assists that's just like drive one kick to the side, like type of assist. And I don't really include those. Like my compilations aren't like every assist of the season. I could just do that and just be done in 6 minutes. But I sift through every possession, every assist possession. I don't go through like turnovers like I did with the D'Lo assist yesterday, even because I'm just, who has that kind of time? Like, so I will have some coming up. If for nothing else, that they're easy content. I might use the high low for it because NBA.com has been trash, but the high low will be missing some assists sometimes, so it might. I don't know. I'm taking a lot of time to explain something that I don't need to be explained. It will be some assist compilations. It's probably gonna be some bucket compilations too, or just some overall general like hoop plays. I wanted to do like some Shingun type stuff, not type stuff, but some Shingun highlights and just people like that. People who don't get posted a lot. So I'll be doing stuff like that at some time at a future date. I don't know if I'm going to do a regular season or if I'm going to wait till the postseason end to just post all the separate ones. It'll probably be a good idea to just start compiling all that stuff. Now, I usually do it like day of. I just get all of them and I post them the same day. So we'll see. But they will be happening. Ooh, my t-shirt is inebriated. We had, I don't know if y'all had this kind of saying, but like if your collar, like when I was in like high school, middle school, like if your collar was not like snug around your neck, not like around like choking you, but like if the line was like a little droopy, like, you know what I'm saying, we would call that having a drunk t-shirt. So my collar kind of drunk right now, so excuse me, you might see a little extra clavicle, you know what I'm saying. But don't worry about it. Why do I see? I did it again. I reached for the wrong computer again. I gotta switch up the HDMI cord because I am confusing myself entirely too much. Oh, let's see. Eric, you in the chat, Eric? You ain't say nothing, brother. My dog Eric, he in the exclusive Shooty Hoops Knowers chat that, you know what I'm saying, top secret. What is it? G17 classified specs to get in, you know what I'm saying? He's passed the sniff test, you know what I'm saying? Real hoop knowers only. Wolves' worst fan base on the Bird app. I will say this about Wolves fans. Um, Not every game has to have like somebody to blame. Like for sometimes you just lose a game, bro. Like, and that's the thing that I didn't enjoy like the most, like interacting with them like regularly, not on YouTube. The Wolves fans on YouTube have been great, so like that's a different ecosystem. But like every game they're trying to look for somebody to blame. It's like, bro, sometimes you just don't execute. Sometimes the team just had a good game plan and it's on to the next game, bro. Like, what is all this finger pointing going on? Like, your team is okay. It's not like, I get it. You want to win every game, but like every time somebody loses, like there's sometimes you just lose. Like, and it's like different because like D'Lo often bore the brunt of that, and it's not even because of that. It's just like it's kind of annoying to read that stuff after every game. Like, and then people be tweeting slander, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm just holding them accountable." Like, bro, you're not a coach, bro. Like, what do you mean? Like, I'm just gonna hold him accountable for the bad play. It's like, bro, you're not doing that. Also, anybody who seriously thought that Jordan McLaughlin was a better basketball player than D'Angelo Russell, like, come on, bro. Like, I'm gonna explain why Jordan McLaughlin was particularly effective in the role he was. Styles make fights, right? And so in order to have some kind of advantage over your opponent in some respects, sometimes a change of pace is needed, right? Now, I'm not going to credit D'Lo's existence for being the reason why Jordan McLaughlin plays well. He's a generally smart player. He does what he does. But like a lot of the things that would go on is that he would play well in the first half because he offered a stylistic difference than D'Lo in the first half. So he would bring a change of pace, and he would be playing generally faster and stuff like that, even though he most of the time he was just passing the ball, running to the corner, but that is what it is. And he would generally just be a different presence on the court, right? And then you see in the second half, after they figured out that this guy's kind of small and he's not really out here doing anything offensively, he's just in the corner, he's spacing, he'll move the ball, he'll make the right pass. But his second halves weren't like, he wasn't setting the world on fire. And then he got the calf injury, and then they got a guy, Mike Conley, who's stylistically similar. And of course, I think the calf injury had something to do with why he's struggling. But also, like, he's the same guy as Conley is for the most part. Like, the way they move on the court, the way they play, he's not nearly as good of an offensive player as Conley. But by the time he comes in the game, he's already been being guarded for 8 minutes, right? And so, like, he's been seeing the effects of not having a different kind of guard next to him or in front of him in the rotation. And he's not playing well. Like, he's getting his ball thrown all over the gym. So I just want to say, you know what I'm saying? All of this Jordan McLaughlin better than D'Lo talk was wild, and you guys were tripping. But other than that, I don't know any other fan bases to like really compare them to. So like the Nets and the Lakers and the Warriors. But out of those four, they were the most reactionary, and they had like the least like connectivity and like basketball knowledge. So like you'll see like their interactions like on their particular social media, and like the guys that talk about basketball, they don't have really a lot of media to actually go to with guys who are actually talking the game and stuff like that, and who aren't engaging and trolling and narratives and stuff like that. So I think they kind of get the short end of the stick in that respect. But like as people, I don't get too deep into like who they are as people, but who knows? I don't know why I just went on that long diatribe. I can't say they're the worst, but of the four that I'm intimately familiar with, they aren't in the top three. Oh, what's up, Jacob, my dog? Jacob, I don't know if you remember this, brother, but we have the same birthday. I be forgetting to mention that every time. You know what I'm saying? I try to hide my birthday from people because I'm generally lazy, and like when people send me a lot of birthday wishes, I don't want to be like, oh, thanks. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for the birthday wishes. Thank you for because then I feel bad if I miss somebody. That's why that D'Lo video when it first came out 2 years ago had me in absolute hell because I was replying to everybody. But shout out to my Scorpio homie, even though I don't believe in I don't partake in astrology or anything like that. But you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my guy, Jacob Rude, another D-Lo believer. You know what I'm saying? We back home, baby. Real hoops, real G's born on that day. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't the fact that it's numerically like significant or nothing like that. Nah, that's just when the realest stars align. You know what I'm saying? Real people came out of there. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? So if you share that particular birthday, I'm not going to tell you what it is because I don't want to leak nobody's birthday if they don't want it known on the internet. But you know what I'm saying? Just know, real hoop knowers. I don't know all the hoop knowers that was born on that day, but I'm assuming they real hoop knowers and real people was born on that day. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I got a wild, these must be comments from YouTube. I got a notification. Let me get that off of there. I'm a person who don't like to see notification alerts, as I probably just explained with the birthday thing. What is this? Oh, yeah, this is all about people commenting on that pass, that D-Lo pass. Real Diamond hours, like I said before. I gotta, hold on. If this sound changes, let me know. I'm about to listen to this sound, so y'all about to hear something real quick. Cause last time I asked the homies to troubleshoot the sound for me, and they told me the sound was good, and I saw that the mic wasn't even plugged in. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? I appreciate the moral support, but okay, it's still plugged in. Cause I'll be moving around with this mic. I have it plugged into a USB extender, and sometimes it'll loosen up. So it'll still be plugged in, but it won't be plugged in, and I won't know. And the mixer will still tell me that the audio, it has two audio channels. They both say audio, but one of them is for the camera and one of them is for the microphone. So I'll see one of them moving. I'm like, oh yeah, the audio is good. And I turn on the stream, it'll be trash. So many takes I was going to post retroactively to Twitter, I couldn't post because the mic was trash and it just sounded like I was talking in the closet. So we just making sure for the next time I predict something, you know what I'm saying? My Reeves' Hermothy prediction and the Kings gonna be good this year. Those kind of things coming up. You know what I'm saying? I got to make sure the audio is good. I'm gonna end up levitating all the way to LA if D-Lo drops his first ice in the vein during the playoffs. Hey, brother, you ain't hear this from me, but I think it's coming. You know what I'm saying? Well, I don't know. It might come. It might not come in the late game situation for a while because I don't know how these Memphis fellas are gonna manage this series. Because I don't know. I do realize that the Lakers had like some outlier performances from Rui and Austin and things like that. But like, I think everything that pretty much happened last game was reputable because like for all of LeBron's numbers, he didn't particularly play great, and AD wasn't necessarily cooking them offensively. And like, I don't know where you're gonna get another, not where, but I don't know if you're gonna get another Jaren Jackson Jr. performance like that. Not only shooting wise, but like he's prone to not be on the court a lot. So like you can't. I don't think you can necessarily count on him to like not stay out of foul trouble and stuff like that. Even though he did a good job of it last game, but I don't know. We might have to wait until it's like against the Kings or the Warriors. I don't know who y'all personally think gonna win that series. I think the Warriors still gonna make it happen, but I was surprised with De'Aaron Fox. Not surprised that he played well necessarily, but I wanted to see something from his jump shot in the playoffs just to make sure that I was seeing what I was seeing. Because like his jump shot, I don't know if it's just because they're left-handed. It's not really why, because D'Lo's jumper doesn't look like this. But him and Julius Randle's arc on their shot kind of concerned me a little bit. Not concerned me, but like I thought in the playoff setting, these guys who shoot like this floaty, like his arc is kind of floaty, like Julius's was the fake bubble year, 2021, 2021, where I just wanted to see how his shot would look under playoff pressure, like the way it lands on the rim and stuff like that. It wasn't a consistent flight pattern, so I was just trying to see, and he answered those questions for me in game one, even though the first half was kind of shaky. So we'll see. I think that his vertical jump like counterbalances it a little bit, so I think he'll be fine, but. I still think the Kings gonna take that series. It's fouls. Who's fouls? Who we talking about? Oh, you talking about JJJ? I don't know. We'll get back to that. I don't think he hit the ice in the Wilsons. Well, he kind of stopped doing it. Well, not stopped doing it. He does it, but he doesn't like demonstratively like point at his veins anymore. He just like leaves his arm out. He did it. He did it when he cooked Conley on that move. the behind the back off the glass, which was absolutely the wildest shot I've ever seen. Brother was down two. It was like 4 seconds left. He cooked the man and then went off the glass. Like true psychopath behavior. I couldn't believe he did that. But that brother just different in those moments, even though like people try to act like he's not. But that brother is wild. Dylan Brooks going 2 from 9 for 3 is pretty repeatable too. Yeah, man. Like Dylan Brooks is a hilarious individual. I don't understand like what he does. He ignores a lot of like off ball situations that are clearly better basketball situations to throw up the nastiest jumper you've ever seen in your life. Like I don't like when he shoots, like I think him and Anthony Edwards kind of have like a similar, not his jumper, but like he was shooting a free throw and like they have the like when you have the ball and like it's space and it's like kind of like in this part of your hand instead of up here, like, and it's like resting on it in some kind of weird way. It's like a top, like Ant kind of shoots like this instead of like his wrist flexion doesn't go all the way back. It's like this way. And I think Brooks kind of like does the same, like kind of nasty jumper, but he also has the nasty load up too. So like it looks double bad. And then he got them braids, like, man, then his fits, like everything about him just is aesthetically like all out of whack. He need to get a team and fix that jumper and like his personal style and all that other stuff. Pray for Tyus Jones game 2. They had him in the blender at the end of game 1. Like another Wolves idealistic point guard situation. It's like it's a reason he doesn't start in the league, and we saw kind of like why. Like you can quote all the assist turnover ratio you want to, bro, but he's not big enough, and like he's not gonna be offensively consistent enough. He might have grown into that, I don't know, but like on a night-to-night basis, if you running that guy out as your starting point guard, I know the Grizzlies were cooking last year with him and stuff like that, but sometimes things are unexplainable. But like we'll see. He might prove me wrong. Have a nice 25 tomorrow, not tomorrow, Wednesday. My days almost ran together. Because I've been thinking about my physical therapy tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? How I'm gonna explain to these people that, you know what I'm saying, I backslid a little bit. But I think he's gonna. I don't know what they're gonna do. On our end, I'm curious to see who they're gonna put Vando on if Ja doesn't play. I wonder if they probably deploy him on Bane and kind of rearrange it in that way, and like who's going to be guarding Tyus and stuff like that. And then on the other end, I have no idea who Tyus is going to guard. Like I just don't, because you're not putting him on D'Lo, even though D'Lo kind of gets in trouble sometimes with smaller guards where he like, oh yeah, I'm 6'4", 6'5", I'm about to just go in the post. And D'Lo's a very capable post player, but as we've seen in like the Wolves game and like a couple other games, he's prone to merchant activities, and like that happens a lot when he's in the post. Like instead of just rising up and shooting over people, sometimes he'll try to like draw fouls and like he'll miss shots that he should make. So it might start off a little shaky if like that's the matchup, if they even decide to do that, which they obviously should not do, but they might. And then we'll just see how it goes from there. Ooh, how I feel about the Knicks in the playoffs. I hope that Josh Hart isn't like seriously hurt. I hope his ankle is okay, because he's the one that makes all of that work. Like they were treading water when he got there. They were still like 6th or something like that. But like once he got there, that team took off, and like he plugs a lot of holes that they have execution wise, and just like fighting on the board and stuff like that. Even though like Mitchell and Hartenstein do a good job and stuff like that, there's still moments where you can kind of overwhelm those guys, and they kind of need a little bit extra grit. You know what I'm saying? RJ Barrett's not reliable as a shooter. He's not a reliable defender anymore. And like, you just need like another serious basketball player. I'm not saying RJ's not serious, but he just has some skill deficiencies that just kind of takes him out of games for long stretches at a time. And then when he does, like when he's in the mode where he feels like he hasn't gotten something off in a while, he kind of gets a little reckless. So like you need a guy like Josh Hart to kind of stabilize it, even though he's not like the best shooter or anything like that. He's a great transition player. He can finish in traffic, and he's just a guy that just be out there winning when he's on teams, even though his teams haven't won. Like him and Brunson kind of cut from the same cloth. They went to the same school. They, you know what I'm saying, they homies and all that other stuff. But like he's very valuable. even though like Randall's is my guy, he's prone to his moments of short circuiting and well, not like short circuit mentally, even though he gets like angry and stuff like that. But it's not this thing where he like spirals out of control decision making wise because he's angry. Sometimes it's just a skills thing where that handle kind of loose and that jumper kind of funky. So sometimes he might not have it. But Josh Hart is always going to play hard. I ain't going to say he's always going to do the correct thing because nobody ever always does the correct thing, but he's somebody that you can rely on. So if he's hurt, I don't know how they replace what he's been giving them. Grimes is good, but he's not the same kind of basketball player. They don't have a replicable guy to do those things. But even if he doesn't, he might not play game 2, they still have a chance because like for all of Mitchell's brilliance and stuff like that, he had like 8 assists, stuff like that. He's still a guy who I don't think like lifts a team by himself in that way in like a series context. He'll do it over the course of a game, but the jury's still out for me as far as like him like lifting a team up by himself. That's why I was so interested to see him without Rudy, even though we know Rudy's kind of a goofball at this point. But I think he provided a lot of cover for Mitchell in that respect, both defensively and just like from a team leadership standpoint. I'm not saying Rudy was the leader of the team, but like from outside looking in, it's like people are like, oh, he has to deal with Rudy Gobert. So like you can't really expect him to do much. You know what I'm saying? So I'm interested to see how he responds game 2. He did damn near everything he could do game 1, but sometimes there's just limitations to having a small backcourt. And you all know, well, I ain't gonna say you all know, I have a Darius Garland video on this channel. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and watch it. But I'm a Darius Garland believer. So like I'm interested to see how they can have their 2-guard situation. Okoro, they had Osman in the game guard Brunson, which is I guess, bro, if that's how you want to live your life, go ahead. But I'm assuming that was for offensive reasons as well. So we'll just have to see if the Cavs can figure it out. But I do think that this is probably the most likely of the series to like go 7. So we'll see. Any chances the Clips can push it to 7? No. Oh, absolutely, bro. I think the Suns kind of sold their soul a little bit. And depending on what's wrong with campaign, they've gotten even less depth than they already had. Chris Paul looking he had a good like third quarter, I think, last game, but like that brother, he's on borrowed time, if you ask me. I don't want these statements to come back and haunt me in like a Western Conference Finals, but you know. But I think they are really top heavy, and their 2 best players are primarily scorers, even though Kevin Durant always had a triple-double and he can do everything on the court. Their best function on the court are them doing the same things as each other. So they're going to rely on a lot of buckets, and then we're going to have to see who kind of stabilizes them in the moments where the game is kind of getting out of hand. Maybe it could be Chris Paul, but if you're only out there with Chris Paul and no other point guard and no other like guy who can kind of do that for you, then it's going to be tough sledding, even though like the Clippers are wholly combustible and unpredictable with Russell Westbrook at point guard. So, but Kawhi is the great equalizer and all that. He's one of the greatest playoff performers I've ever seen personally, and I'm sure that the numbers probably bear that out as well. I've never seen somebody whose shot I've thought was going to be going into the bottom of the net in the playoffs more than Kawhi at this point. Like he's just proven consistently that he is a consistent bucket, and he just gonna keep coming at you, and he's gonna keep coming at you. So I think the Clips, I ain't gonna say push it to 7. I think they can win the series if everything breaks right for them. But, you know what I'm saying, I'm not going to count out Kevin Durant. You know what I'm saying? I've been terrorized by that brother in the playoffs. That shot he hit over Meta broke my spirit. Shout out to the NBA for doing the absolute most waste man thing of all time. What was that, 2012? Got the Lakers, known super old team, playing the young upstart Oklahoma City Thunder on a back-to-back in the playoffs, bro. Like, what's wrong with y'all? I can't remember who the commissioner was at that time. Was it Silver by that time? Whoever it was got an answer for their crimes. Love your content, bro. Keep it up. Appreciate it. I'm trying to be out here. Knicks versus a hurt Giannis in Milwaukee. You think the Knicks can pull it off? You think they have a shot? It depends, bro. It depends on which version of Randall's jumper shows up. You know what I'm saying? That's my dog. But I just hope that you know what I'm saying, the jumper's good to go, his body is good to go. I think stylistically, uh if you mean like, do you mean hurt Giannis like he's not playing, or if he's playing? Because if he's playing, I think they still might give them the blues in some respects. I don't think Brunson is going to get off as well as he can, because like a lot of Brunson's success kind of comes from his size and how shifty he is and stuff like that. And I think Holiday would be probably the best matchup for him in terms of kind of neutralizing what he does. Of course, he still has the second side creation with Julius, like attacking closeout and stuff like that. He has great touch off the glass. And his jumper is getting better by the season. But I think he would meet a little more resistance than he would from another guy trying to guard him, because I think he's usually like at a like center of gravity advantage in some of these matchups, and he has a little strength advantage as well. And I think like he might have his struggles in the series against the Bucks over time. You know what I mean? Not in any individual game, like the individual matchup is what it is, but I think over time, like, because like some of those shots he was getting against Osman last game at the end of the game weren't like good shots. So I didn't think that stuff was good process. They got bailed out by a couple offensive rebounds and stuff like that. So if you have Giannis neutralizing Randall, not necessarily neutralizing him, but matching and exceeding what he's doing, and then we have Drew and Brunson battling it out, then like who's the next guy for the Knicks? Because like I don't trust RJ Barrett at all. And I haven't for a while. I remember I got in trouble for people used to post that Kendrick Perkins dribbling meme for Julius Randle, talking about he's not passing to RJ in the corner. So I'm like, bro, I'm watching these games. He's passing to RJ. RJ just missing, bro. Like, so I had a compilation. I was doing a compilation of Randall's like passing and stuff anyway that I never put on here. But like it was a lot. I go through like all the shot attempts just to find like extra good passes that I didn't see. And I was going through everybody's shots attempts, and like RJ was hitting the side of the backboard all the time. I'm like, this brother cannot shoot the way you think he can. And he's still shooting with the wrong hand. I stand by that as a former left-handed shooter for strength purposes, because the lower half of my body, I think I'm not left-footed, but my body orients better, like in a full body motion if I'm pushing off my left side. So like, I think RJ Barrett has some of that where he's actually a right-handed person, but like he shot for strength purposes with his left hand. I think Ben Simmons was also like this, and now they're just guys with, in Ben's case, not a jumper at all, and in RJ's case, a jumper I would never trust. Let's see. Marcelo Horses would be the Suns' 8th best player. Yeah, they down bad, bro. They might need French. Wait, am I tripping? Wait, who? Shamet plays for the Suns, right? I call Landry Shamet French Montana. I used to call him Landry Shamet back when I never heard his name. I think, what is that, Wichita State? When I saw his name on paper, I'm like, this dude named Landry Shamet, this is, you know, he kind of hooping a little bit. Because I used to watch games on mute a lot. And then I heard it, I was like, Shamet. Oh, okay. But I don't know. Torrey Craig might have to step up. I don't know what they're going to do, bro. I have no idea. Let's say, like, limited. I already answered you. I'm like, what? The contact. I keep doing this. Once again, I'm trying to make sure I ain't missing anything. Let me scroll back up. I'm saying it ain't too many people in here asking too many questions, but you know what I'm saying? Just making sure I ain't missing nothing. Wait, hold on. I need to go get my phone. I don't have my phone. I'll be right back. Where's my phone? Oh, still 10 people in here. Let's go. Lakers and Warriors in the second round, assuming both make it. Did I leave my phone downstairs? Because I do not hear it ringing. Oh, here it is. Appreciate it. I got it. I'm very blind. It was laying on top of a black coat. I could not see it. It was it was very much in the room with us. But what was the question? Lakers and Warriors in the second round. Assume both make. Who makes the conference finals? I think the Lakers make the conference finals. Um, I do think that the Warriors are going to have tremendous. Even though uh Draymond guards AD well, I do think that their lack of size over the course of a series, particularly with a LeBron James also on the court, is going to cause them problems over the long haul. And then I think that the Lakers, I was explaining this in the YouTube comments yesterday, I think, or the day before. I think the Lakers have the best collection of, like, I'm not going to say top end talent because I don't want to say like all four of these dudes or like all five of the people that I'm talking about are like, and this is even before we get to Rui. But I was just explaining how I had a hard time conceptualizing a situation in where where all three of D'Lo, Austin, and Schroeder are going to play poorly in like any given game, right? And so I'm expecting AD and LeBron's kind of presence and just like production to be a given, even though like it might be different than what we've seen in the past. I think AD will probably largely be the same guy, but LeBron, people are talking about him throwing the ball all over the gym and stuff like that. I think that's a symptom of him losing a step on the perimeter. I think he has to go to the post a little bit more because he's people are like, oh, he just every time Dylan Brooks is on him, he's just shooting that jumper. He's not taking him to the rim. Like, Dylan Brooks is a good defender, bro. Like, I don't know if his foot is sizzling or he ain't got that step no more, but like I don't know if he's ramping up or what, but like until he shows me otherwise, I think he need to be a little more, he need to grind in that post a little bit more. And you know what I'm saying, get his spot up shooting on cutoff ball. Not like for a great majority of the time, but like if you expecting the same production you seen from him previous, he's probably going to have to change the way he plays a little bit. But even 85% version of LeBron is still one of the greatest players that will ever have laced it up ever. So like I assume him and AD are going to be who they are for at least 4 or 5 games out of a series. And then I think, like we saw yesterday, Reeves can win you a game, even though Hachimura had a huge part in that. And he wasn't somebody I was considering in like this talk I was having yesterday. But D'Lo can win you a game for sure, if not multiple, either with his playmaking or with his shooting ability. And then I think Dennis is going to have great moments. His jumper is the X factor there because for all Dennis's greatness as like a driver, like I'm most confident in him like getting past somebody and getting to the rim than like pretty much anybody in this league. He still has a lot of like situations where his decision making isn't the best, and he compounds it with some questionable shots and stuff like that. But like I don't think you can rely on all of those guys playing poorly and like not one of LeBron and AD kind of picking up the slack in some areas. And I don't think the Warriors are constructed that way. I think the Lakers just have better balance than anybody that's pretty much left. And I think that's going to carry them a lot of nights. And going to the Warriors, like I said, I think their front court is going to be a problem. And then their ancillary guys, like Poole can do some things, even though like he's going to be he's going to be absolute food on the other end. And then like the guys after that, maybe Wiggins is going to turn out to be that guy if he's rounded back into form and stuff like that. But I just see a couple issues with them going forward, like if they are to play the Lakers. And then like Steph and Clay, like of course they have the winning pedigree and stuff like that. They have a tendency to like take wild shots at wild moments and stuff like that. So I hope you didn't see that parabola spit that just happened. But I trust them a little less than AD and LeBron to like consistently impact the game on a game-to-game basis just because of the nature of how they play. Of course, they're going to absolutely bomb you out of some games and stuff like that, but over the course of time, of course, Steph is that guy, so I'm not taking anything away from him, but he has his moments during games where he just, like, he's shooting that step back from 32 feet, just hitting the front of the rim, and, like, you know what I'm saying? You're like, you sure about that, Wardell? But most of all, like, I hope if Steve Kerr is just going, he has shown to like change it over time. But if he's going to keep like them same patterns and he's like, Steph, you're not coming back into this game until like, you know what I'm saying, our finely tuned clock says you can. Like, they might lose some games just by, you know what I'm saying, their bench and stuff not being up to snuff. And also them on the road not hooping like they've been doing all season, you know. Who's to say? But I do think the Lakers will take it. The vibes this team has is incredible considering they've been together for like so much better than pre-deadline. Bro, I've been watching D'Angelo Russell be the purveyor of vibes for 6 years now, bro. I'm talking about outside of the Lakers construct. That Rudy stuff reeked of people justifying the trade. John Krasinski, I thought you were a good writer. I still think you're a decent writer. But you know what I'm saying? You let the vibes of what other people saying kind of take you to go with the flow. So I think you kind of threw a little extra sauce on that D-Lo is a locker room cancer thing. Because like everything I've seen and like I'm like, I'm not buying this, bro. Because this dude is always the vibes guy. Every season, they're like, oh, every time he's on team, this is the best vibes our team has ever had. And you know what I'm saying? These guys really get along well. And it was the same thing at the beginning of this season. Like he's always going out of his way to hype up people. Jalen Noel, Jaden McDaniels, he called Vandal the best roller in the league. Like Nate Knight, like he gas up everybody all the time, every chance he gets. They tried to say he didn't pass to Rudy. He had 50 assists to Rudy in like 43 games, and they were like, Kyle Anderson is the only one that knows how to get him the ball. Kyle Anderson didn't pass up D'Lo in assists to Rudy until like it was like 10 games left in the season. Like he was passing that man the ball. That man was dropping the ball. He wasn't throwing lobs, but D'Lo doesn't throw lobs like that all the time anyway, because like if the lob is there, the spacing is such that he's probably going to be able to get a shot off in that kind of scenario anyway. So like it was just like they were kind of figuring it out, but I don't think they hated each other. Like he might have been clowning that man in the locker room or something, but like he been the vibes captain. Him and Theo Pinson was the vibe captains, and then he was the vibes captain after that, and he just been the vibes captain. Like, so that's why these vibes are tremendous. I can't remember who I was explaining this to, but like the way he was hyping up Rui like early, like he does that all the time. Like he's the supreme like confidence guy. You hear him yelling at his teammates on the court, but it's never like, Nick, you suck. Like I almost said something crazy. Like he not doing that. He yelling at people like Jared Allen used to get blocks. He used to hype him up. Like, you know what I'm saying? He just does stuff like that. And I'm assuming it's infectious. You know what I'm saying? I'm assuming he was the goat noise captain. Just like he's just that kind of guy, bro. If D'Lo's worst comment is disliking the French, then he's a great mama. Rudy, big time Pepe Le Pew, fellow. I don't know what stream I was talking about that, but like Rudy don't seem like a guy I would want to hang around with. The kind of stuff he posts on like Instagram and stuff. I don't follow him on Instagram, but from what I did see, I'm like, even it's a couple of my cohorts that we closely follow what's going on in the shooty hoops world and stuff like that. One of them was particularly perturbed about the fact that Rudy hadn't followed D'Lo yet, like before the season. He was really concerned about it. So maybe D'Lo kind of smelled it on him at the beginning. Who knows? But as we've seen with the subsequent fight and everything like that, I ain't gonna say D'Lo was innocent, but like it was overblown. Vibes is immaculate on the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? And the quest for the next title is in full. What is it? Full steam ahead. Not in full steam ahead. In full swing is what I was going to say. His live reactions to what Bron and AD do is gold. He's truly one man. I don't know if you saw the picture. Like he does this thing where his teammates are about to dunk and he jumps in the picture with them with his very limited hops. He like 5 for 5. He ain't missed on the picture like that yet. Every one of them pictures is fire, bro. Like he just got a sense for timing and the dramaticals, you know what I'm saying? But like you'll just hear him on the rim mics just being generally hilarious. I'm glad he kind of got back to that. I think for like the first couple years after LA, because like I think I did another stream where somebody had me ranking like the top 10 funniest people in the NBA or something like that. And I thought they were talking about comedians. So I was giving them a list of like comedians. Like, nah, the NBA. And I'm like, oh. And I mentioned, I'm like, D'Lo used to be on that list, but like he became like more of a serious facing person towards the media. But that dude used to be comedy. So I'm glad he like seems to be at peace with everything and just kind of being back to himself. Do you think Memphis? Do you think Memphis will try to defend the Lakers differently next game? Last year, Memphis played with the D'Lo rules, as you going to. Can you say? I don't know. Well, of course, if Ja doesn't play, that like changes the dynamic of like everything that they're going to try to do. But they were doing a lot of pre-switching at the end of that game. Like this is getting back to the point of just the Lakers having a lot of depth and like not depth, but they have a lot of top end talent and like if Ham does the rotations the way you're supposed to, I don't know exactly what Memphis can do differently. You know what I mean? Like what teams would do like on previous teams with like ball handlers like that. It's like blitz and like all kind of like, you know what I'm saying, pressure related things. Cause like schematically, I don't know what you're gonna do with not one of Reeves, but at least two or three of Reeves, LeBron, AD, and D'Lo out on the court at all times. Like if you try to take something away, something else is gonna be there. So like, are they gonna pick their poison and like try to see if Austin can do the same thing he did? Because even though is relatively successful, like he's still Austin Reeves, he's still relatively improved. Or like, do they try to dare D'Lo to become more of a shooter by taking things away? Like, I'm assuming they're gonna start there first. Try to deny AD for sure, and then that'll move on to LeBron. Maybe I don't know if they can kind of try to bracket him because he's been kind of floating on the perimeter and stuff like that, and he's kind of been an inactive participant. But then that comes LeBron's one of the best off-ball movers as well. Like, so I don't know what they can do stylistically to deal with all four of these guys in the starting lineup. Of course, the bench minutes are something that they're probably going to try to exploit if that same lineup is out there that was out there, because they were absolutely hemorrhaging points in the paint, and then they were the offense wasn't clicking the way it needed to. So like, I can see a world where the adjustments that are made are not like wholesale in the starting lineup because they're just too versatile, but over the course of the game, they might try some things to attack those bench units, depending on who Ham decides to throw out there. Maybe Blitz and Dennis or something, or just like ratcheting up the pressure on LeBron, who's shown that he's a little turnover prone, and just kind of trying to see if other guys can beat them if a Troy Brown or a Malik is on the court. And then when you get back to the starting lineup, I'm at a loss of what they can really do defensively, because the way their team is made up already, they don't have a lot of like great defenders. Their best guys are like Clarkson, Adams are hurt. Maybe Conchar starts playing. That's the only thing I can really think of. Like Conchar gets an uptick in minutes. Maybe Luke Kennard is very small. Bain doesn't have the standing reach to really do anything. He's very strong. He can out physical somebody, but like there's ways to score on Bain. Like you have Brooks. Tyus is small. Like from a roster standpoint, I don't know what they're gonna do to like make the Lakers sweater change what they're gonna have to do on the offensive end in any respects, other than just wholesale selling out on certain actions and kind of living with the results. But then like you get D'Lo on the 3-on-2, you get LeBron on the 3-on-2, you get Reeves on the 3-on-2. I mean, or a 2-on-1 or whatever the situation calls for. And I just don't know what they're going to do. We still haven't seen a D'Lo flamethrower game in the LA uniform. We did, kind of, the Knicks game. But nobody else joined him. You know what I'm saying? He was big cooking. I was one of the better D'Lo cooks we've actually seen. But, you know what I'm saying? They didn't come out with the win. And, you know what I'm saying? He kind of tapered off at the end. But that was a situation where he, you know what I'm saying, they kind of started diverting a little more attention to him. And, you know, D'Lo, he's not going to force the issue. So, you know what I'm saying, he was making the right play, things of that nature. But the next time we see one, like, I'm interested to see, like, what it's going to look like when D'Lo get, like, 4 or 5 threes going. Like, because when he would do that on the Wolves, like, the ball would just mysteriously not find him, like, for 4 or 5 minutes at a time. So I am ready to see, like, if he is cooking in that way, like, if, you know what I'm saying, if it's going to keep flowing to him until he ain't got it no more. Oh, yeah, Raptors game, D'Lo, I definitely forgot about that. Transition threes, another thing, Jim Pete particularly hated. I had many conversations with people about why those aren't bad shots in the context of who's taking them and when they take them. Because like the way they were framed, like, oh, he's taking them at the worst times when he has a 3-on-2 advantage, and it was never like a situation like that. Like he would take them in the flow of either the momentum of a game, or it's he sees that the defense is back already. He's shooting a shot against a defense that for all intents and purposes is set. And like I don't have a problem with that shot from a reputable shooter. I'm taking that shot all the time because it's probably one of the better looks you're going to get against a defense that's back in some respects, or that has an advantage in transition or something like that. Like I'm fine with those. And he just had a really bad, like, because the year 2021 where people weren't there, he was hitting those at like a good clip from what I remember. Like his form was different though. He was more upright. He was kind of floating into them, and they was cash money bags. And then last year his jumper was just trash in general. Like he was missing spot ups, all kind of stuff. I don't know if it was the ball. His legs were weird. He made an adjustment to his jump shot this summer that I can tell. Like people might say I'm tripping, but his jumper has a lot more arms in it now. He's a little less concerned with what his feet are doing. He has like, and it's more of a like 2-shot kind of motion. It's not a 2-shot motion really, but it's like he has more, his hands and his arms are more involved in his shot than they used to be. And I looked at like some old footage just looking at other stuff, and like his shot was different. So I don't know what he did, but his jumper's better now. So like I'm perfectly fine with him shooting that shot. And when they go in, you know what I'm saying, it's demoralizing and like, it gets the crowd hype, and I'm all for it. Let's see. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Brooks occupying LeBron means that Reeve dealer for a problem for their guards and wings. You didn't hear how I just read that. If they try to make the ball find D'Lo, I think the cook will absolutely commence. Yeah, man. I saw, like, as soon as I saw that second shot rim out in the game, I'm like, oh, D'Lo here, bro. Like, like, and we was talking. People didn't watch D'Lo a lot, but like D'Lo, I used to have this joke. Like if he, well, I still have it, but like if he starts a game and he starts like 2 for 7, I'm like, oh, he about to cook, bro. Like his shot chart would go like he'd go 1 for 4, then he'd go 2 for 7, and then he'll be like 4 for 10, and then like after that is when it'll start. You know what I'm saying? The cook will start happening. Like of course that's not ideal, but like I saw that it was going to be another one of those kind of nights. And he was what, like 0 for 3. He was 0 for 3, 1 for 5, and then like 2 for 7, 3 for 9, or something like that, and then he kind of stopped missing for a minute. And that's just how he goes sometimes. He hasn't done that this year. That's why his efficiency has been so great. But like I do think if Memphis tries to sell out on the top 2 guys, Reeves and D'Lo, I think, and Dennis can handle that. Rui like adds an added element that where they don't have to, like, you can't sag off them like they do off Vanderbilt. They was letting Vanderbilt a little bit free. You know what I'm saying? He got a couple dunks. I ain't never seen a team just not guard a dude in front of the rim. Like that was wild. Like that pass that AD threw to him at the front of the rim, you got the dunk on. I'm like, bro, you not watching him like that. Like that boy hit a turnaround fadeaway. He said, you got to respect me out here, brother. But I do think that you can get away with not get away with, but I think Rui is gonna be definitely more prominent in this series for sure, and I think you can do that in the next series as well. I'm not looking past the Memphis Grizzlies or whatever, but I think that size wise, he offers a different kind of size than Vanderbilt does, and I don't think that they have anybody on the other end to really make him pay for it, because for all of the great things he did offensively, there were still some things on the defensive end that you would like to see cleaned up and stuff like that. But you know what I'm saying? We splitting hairs at this point. Not really, but you know, you get what I'm saying. So I just think that on any given night, the Lakers have 6 to 7 guys who can really hurt you, whether it be Schroeder or Rui or the starting 5. And like teams are just going to have to contend with that on a night-to-night basis. And I don't know if there are a lot of rosters that can really do that over a 7-game series and is able to beat this team 4 times. Do you think D'Lo resigns with the Lakers? And if not, what team would you like him on? One, I do think he resigns with the Lakers. I'm not going to say the money was made already, because I doubt that is a thing, even though, like, if you saw what you saw at the end of the season, you still having questions about if it's going to be him or Kyrie, because Kyrie brings his own cap issues and things like that. Before we even get to, one, the basketball fit, meaning him being available, like, because he's going to be the 3rd star, and, like, your other 2 stars have shown over the course of their Lakers tenure, AD just in general, that, you know what I'm saying, he may or may not be on the court all the time. And Kyrie has shown that if he's the only guy running the show, you can't really trust him to like uplift your team to greater heights. And that's even more apparent if you are missing one of your two stars for extended periods of time. So like, and I'm not saying that D'Lo elevates your team in any way different than Kyrie in that way by himself or anything like that. But I do think that you can count on him to at least like be there and be a serious like professional basketball player more often than not. You know what I mean? So I do think that this will end in like a re-sign. I don't like think about free agency that often for like players like that, but like, you know what I'm saying? If we just so happen to see D'Lo, you know what I'm saying, in Orlando, for example, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be mad at that. I wouldn't be mad at that at all. Before last season started, I was telling people, I'm like, bro, send D'Lo to OKC if you're gonna trade him, bro. I want to see the cook in OKC. Like, people was looking at me like I was crazy. I'm like, bro, listen, OKC about to be them guys, bro. They about to have 87 wing ball handlers, interchangeable, everything. You just throw D'Lo in there next to Shea, and it's gonna be a problem for everybody. But you know what I'm saying? We can all dream. But any team that needs a point guard, whoever giving my dog the bag, it is what it is. I accept it. I don't want to watch it probably too much, but you know what I'm saying. Orlando is pick number 1 just because I like the way they be hooping. Let's see. Oh, computer fail. I have it precariously balanced on the end of a chair right now. Don't you know what I'm saying? My setup ain't percolating like that. But D'Lo is an old caddy, bro. He take a minute to get warmed up, and that's the thing that people don't understand. A lot of things with playoff basketball, particularly with D'Lo in particular, like sometimes you just got to have the luxury to shoot yourself out of stuff. And last year he really didn't have that luxury to shoot himself out of some of the, and he wasn't shooting in general a lot anyway. But like I saw, like Boston went to the finals, and bro, Tatum was starting every other game like 3 of 12, like just hilarious shooting numbers. And then I come back in the room, he like 8 for 18. It's like, oh, he putting together a little game now. But like we saw it with Shea in the first playing game. He was like 2 for 11 at the beginning of the game. Like playoff basketball, a lot of times people just be out there shooting themselves through it, and then like they come out on the other end with like a 10 for 24, 30 points type night. But like, you know what I'm saying, that's been part of like the narrative as to why the whole bad playoff performance thing was a thing. But like he had games like that in the first series where he started off poorly, then he end with like a 12 for 27. Like it's not the sexiest thing, but like it's effective. So like, I don't know. But yeah, he take a while to get going sometimes. It's been less of that this year, which I've been really happy about. And he's been generally efficient for the most part throughout the game, as opposed to how he used to be, where he would kind of start off slow and then start cooking at the end of the game and stuff like that. Or like second quarter, that third quarter cook and when he was on the Nets used to be legendary. The Celtics, he used to give them the blues every time. That's what we really need to see. If we get an ice in the veins Lakers versus Celtics finals, bro, you're not going to be able to tell me nothing ever again in life, brother. I'm already getting to that point. Randall's done made his second All-Star team when they say he wasn't a hooper. D'Lo about to be in the playoffs and it look like they about to be on the run. I'm just going to say my shooting hoop knowledge is going to be unassailable for 17 years minimum if the Lakers win a title, and D'Lo is a big part of it. I'm just here to let y'all know that first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? And it's not even like a personal, you know what I'm saying? It's just, you know what I'm saying? Put some respect on my shooting hoop eyes, even though I'm blind. Oh, my neck is making my ear have a little pressure. The pressure in my ear is getting weird. But we gonna thug it out. Even though those high socks better be in the trash, man. Don't let Uno hear you saying that, brother. He was feeling those. I'm like, this is not the business. I just assumed that those were for like they were special like medical socks or something. I don't know, like why else would he have them on, but they said he had like blisters, so maybe they had some extra cushioning in them or something. I don't know, to keep his socks from sliding everywhere. I don't know, but who knows? Man, if you search his name last night, there's so many tweets that wrote him off early last night. They were trying to send my man to Indonesia. Yeah, bro, like even like people basketball opinions I respect, like, hey, he had a poor first shift. I'm like, bro, he was playing well. Like the whole shooting well versus playing well thing is something that I need people to realize. Like, it's all about process over results, bro. Like, sometimes your shot just not gonna go in. Long as you're not out there wilding, taking the wildest shots, like I'm fine with what's going on. I'm not gonna say you playing poorly. If you get to like 2 of 10, I'm like, all right, bro. Like, please make a jumper. Like, but like other than that, like he was playmaking well. He wasn't getting cooked on the defensive end. Like, he was screening for people. He was doing pretty much the shots he took were within the flow of the offense. They made sense in the game flow. Like, I wasn't tripping, and like 2 of them was rim outs. I was chilling. That first shot was a little long, but like as a D'Lo watcher, he just sometimes that happens. It takes him a minute to find a distance sometimes, which happens to a lot of shooters. So like I wasn't tripping. Everybody else was though. Wolves fans was getting nasty, bro. Like every time it's like, oh, why y'all keep talking about D'Lo so much? The only reason I tweet about D'Lo as much as I do is because I think I don't like when people lie about what goes on a basketball court, and like he has one of the highest instances of like people who don't watch him talking about him, knowing they're not watching him, and just saying whatever. Like even after last night's game, people was talking crazy. Like you're obviously not watching the games, bro. Just like stop talking. Like that's all I ask. So like I just like to counterbalance like what people say. Like I'm not like I wouldn't say like he's my favorite player of all time or nothing, like, but like I respect a real hooper when I see one. He a real hooper, bro, and like y'all just be out here lying about him, and I don't want to let that ride. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only reason I tweet about him so much. Fact, dude was a +20, can't be an accident, consistent with how he was with the Lakers in the regular season. Definitely, yeah, bro. Like I've been telling people, D'Lo plays basketball the way you should play basketball. He's not selfish. He has pretty much all the skills. He doesn't have the requisite athleticism to show those skills all the time, but he can do everything on a basketball court. People talking about, oh, I've never seen D'Lo set a screen. I'm like, dude, if he is screening, he's probably one of the best off-ball screeners on your team. It's been consistent over the past however long since like forever. Like I've seen it since his rookie season. Like he's setting screens for people and stuff like that. Like he plays, if he's playing with people who are going to respond in kind to actual smart basketball, he can get a ball up. He's going to get it back. He's going to swing it. He's, you know what I'm saying? He's going to take the shots that are appropriate. Sometimes he takes bad shots, but a lot of that is due to his athleticism. If you see him dribbling at the top of the key, a lot of times he's running sets, and sometimes things don't go the way they're supposed to, and it turns into a pull-up mid-range. Like, but he's not like dribbling the air of the ball or like doing stuff like that. Like that stuff just doesn't happen, and it hasn't happened since he's been on the Lakers. Like, I'm just glad that he's gotten a chance to like play with guys who are like-minded basketball players, and we can kind of see what kind of player he has been for about 5 to 6 years now. Like, that's all I was asking for, and I'm glad that we got it. Few people lied as much about D'Lo as Brian Shaw. I'll never forget that, man. Listen, man, I knew it was some funny business afoot when we was on LG, and one of the posters on there who I actually know now, you know what I'm saying? He's somebody we all know, but I ain't gonna reveal who it is. But he was like, he asked Brian Shaw at the grocery store like something about D'Lo, and he's like, nah, D'Lo ain't it. Like, what? Why are you saying that to civilians, brother? Like, what's your problem? Like, I don't know where the Brian Shaw thing came from. I don't know. Maybe, you know what I'm saying, D'Lo said something to him and they just had beef after that or whatever. But like I don't think he was a Byron guy or anything like that. Like, I don't know where the animus or the animosity really came from. Like the hot mic on NBA TV, like there's no reason for that. Talking about D'Lo in there bullshitting. Like, okay, the whole organization was bullshitting. Y'all didn't have a shooting coach, bro. Like, what are we doing here? Like, but water under the bridge, baby. We on the better things. Hopefully we on to, you know what I'm saying, reshaping the narrative once and for all, and you know, it'll be good. They were writing him off like he was Lonnie Walker playing for a bag. Phil Mackey right behind him. I don't traffic in Phil Mackey content, but I think he hangs out with Doogie and them. Like, so like that tells you all you need. I've never seen a tweet of his that I particularly thought was insightful or like added anything. Always reactionary, always not something that I traffic in as an enjoyer of sports. So like, you know what I'm saying? The chickens came home to roost game 1. I don't foresee them not roosting any further over the course of the series because they are a team. Like I talked about bad process and results. Uh, they have two guys on their team that are results over process guys, and they're supposed to be the leaders of your franchise, Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns, who are just two of the most talented basketball players I've ever seen. Karl Anthony Towns probably has the best touch I've ever seen on a basketball court. Like I've never saw him throw up anything and thought that he was going to miss it for one, except for like his over the shoulder like over the right shoulder fadeaway was kind of trash. But like every time he throws up like a little flip shot or a little floater, left hand, right hand, like I'm thinking it's going in because he's just shown me over the course of his career that he's just that guy in the touch streets. But like he's a bad process guy a lot of the time, and Anthony Edwards is a bad process guy a lot of the time, but they cover it up with just having supernatural results due to their talent level. But like you're going against Jokic and them boys, like you can't just be out there vibe hooping, like, and Conley's not gonna fix that. Like Conley is like it's having somebody that's an adult in the room in theory is good, but that person also got to be able to exert themselves on the court, like consistently. Otherwise, you just got a rah rah dude, not a rah rah dude, but you just got a dude that's talking instead of like being about that action. Like Conley can only be about that action so much in so many scenarios. In the play-in game, he was about that action. You know what I'm saying? Like over the course of a long series, like are you gonna sacrifice the could be's of Cat and Ant getting you something to let Conley run the show for however many minutes it takes for them to stop like short circuiting? I don't know. I don't think so, but I don't know. I'm just a guy who has maybe different opinions on what basketball should be and how it should be played than the great folks that root for the Timberwolves. But I wish them well. I was still invested in Ant's success and Cat's success, and I just think they're gonna fall short this year, and then they're gonna have some decisions to make. You know what I'm saying? I have to imagine D-Lo Clown Brian Shaw was rapping and he grunting. Ty Lawson called D-Lo like, "Hey, bro, I just heard the worst bars of all time. I gotta let you hear this, bro." He probably, you know what I'm saying, sent him the recording for the locker room. Then D'Lo held on to it for a couple years. Was like, "Hey, bro, I heard you like, I heard you like bars." I know somebody with a studio, Coach B Shaw. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to bond on like a man to man level. Like, yeah, I enjoy some music from time to time. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to go out and have an activity. Before they started doing paintball with the whole team, they was all like trying to be rappers. And then like we found out that Brian Shaw wasn't that guy, and like D'Lo ain't let him live it down. And that's what's been going on ever since. You know what I'm saying? I'll take that version of the anti D'Lo lore. You know what I'm saying? That's a great point, and I think Memphis recognized that about Cat and Ant last season. That's why the pattern of Wolves losing big leads hasn't changed. Yeah, bro, like it was obvious that they were willing to concede whatever Ant was going to do. They was just going to let him do it. So like, yeah, he had the 36 points in game one or whatever it was, but like, and they won. But like over the course of a series, Anthony Edwards cooks are different than like other people's cooks. It's different than the D'Lo cook. It's different than a Lillard cook. Like Lillard cooks are like consistently sustainable, and he's just hitting you over the head. If D'Lo's cooking, he's getting other people involved, and like the offense is still flowing. Same with LeBron, things like that. When Ant is cooking, it can be hit or miss to where like he's cooking for sure, but like that cooking doesn't come with like the extra playmaking and like stuff like that. It'll come with some extra defensive intensity. I've seen him like do this to where he would cook and have people like involved in like 3 games like over the course of his career. That was like the Chicago game he did it where I think I tweeted, I said this is the best game Anthony Edwards has ever played. And then I think I tweeted that again later, and it wasn't even a game where he was cooking, but he just played a good like floor game. And like it was just like one of the best passing outputs and like defense and like being in the right spot type of things that I saw from him. But like the way that their 2 best players elevate their team is the same, right? And if they don't complement each other as well as you would think they do, because Ant doesn't he's not good at getting Cat involved in the ways that he should, and Cat is not good at elevating Ant in the way that he should from a leadership standpoint and an accountability standpoint. Like he can set him up for points and stuff like that, but he can't hold him accountable on the defensive end when he's missing rotations off ball like he used to do all the time. He doesn't demand a certain accountability from Ant from not passing him the ball. He barely had 50 assists to him last year, and they shared like almost like 2,000 minutes on the court together. Like, you letting Patrick Beverly have more assists to me than you do? Like, that's a problem. Like, and I tried to explain this to people last year to where like individually and together they can be good just because they're so talented, but like their fit is still like clunky, and I don't know if they're gonna ever find their way through that just due to the deficiencies they both have as basketball players. How do I feel about Nas Reed as a backup Laker last year? I don't know how financially they would do it in the first place, but I turned around on Nas. I've always been a Nas believer offensively to where like I'm like he'll give you like 10 to 15 games where like he's absolutely the difference in you winning and losing. But Nas's problem was always that he was not sturdy in the paint. Not necessarily individual defense like one-on-one, even though he had his problems there, but like he had a lot of problems like when the ball would go in the air and it would be like time to get rebounds and stuff, and he would just let people violate him like on the boards, and like he's not particularly he didn't used to be particularly effective for long stretches of time offensively, particularly when his three ball was not falling. He would have a different 3-point shot like every like 15 games or so. Like the arc would be different, the speed of the release would be different, the way his feet would be different. Like he had a very unstable base, like because he shoots off his tippy toes a little bit, so like his jumper is still a thing that isn't like super consistent, but like he's become more consistent in those areas. I don't think you can ever like rely on him to be like somebody that's starts for you or anything like that, but as a backup, if he continues on this path, the one thing you will see, like if Nas is playing against a front court that is not up to snuff, like size wise, he's gonna cook them. Like he has probably the best handle for a center in the league for my money, and he has great touch around the rim most of the time. That's like part of the thing that I had an issue with too, because like when his three ball would stop falling, he would also miss a lot of layups like off the front of the rim, and it would lead to like fast break stuff. Like the stuff he would do would have a rippling effect to where like it would spark like runs and stuff like that, or he would get a lot of unnecessary fouls trying to contest for rebounds and stuff like that, lose rebounds that you should get, and like drop the ball to where it's like in front of the rim and like they get an easy dunk. Like he would do a lot of stuff like that, but he cleaned a lot of that stuff up this season. So if this is the guy who he is now, then like of course I wouldn't have a problem with Nas Reed on my team any day at this rate, but like I don't know how they would make it work financially, so I don't know. Let's see, did I miss anything? I don't think I did. That Lonnie Walker comment earlier, shout out to Lonnie, man. He came in and did his job that one game where Malik, the boy Malik was just you know what I'm saying, he wasn't he was doing this Malik thing, you know what I'm saying, that he's been doing, but like he stayed ready, he came in, got some hoop situation going, but then I think he was in the rotation over Rui the next game, and like it wasn't going so great. But like shout out to him. He started off the season doing things that I didn't think he was gonna be doing, like from a passing standpoint and stuff like that. He kind of got away from that. I do hope that he gets another chance. I'm not gonna say he's gonna be like out of league or anything. I don't think that's gonna be true, but like I do feel kind of bad for him that like he's kind of been one of the casualties of this trade, but like they probably wouldn't be in the play. Well, they definitely wouldn't be in the playoffs if they didn't make it. So like, you know, I just wish that hopefully he stays ready. Maybe if they think he can replace Bees in this series, maybe he'll get another chance. But you know what I'm saying? I do want to see him at least get another shot to like stick in the league at least. Because I think that like, he thought this was going to be like a Malik Monk kind of redemption type situation. And it hasn't really been that for him so far. But hopefully, like, you know, he gets another opportunity somewhere down the road to stick in the league. Because I'm not to say that he's going to be out of the league or anything like that. But, like, you can see a world in which, like, this is, like, his last, like, go around for a while. I hope that's not the case, though. How long have I been streaming? 83 minutes? What is it? It's 7 of y'all here. It says 8, but I'm looking at the stream myself, so because I don't OBS has a thing where you're supposed to be able to see the questions that come from your chat, but That hasn't worked since like the second time I've streamed, so I don't know how to do it. So it's just it is what it is. I think Tristan Thompson's only contribution is hitting the ice in the vein, selling on the bench. I think he's there for that. Even though people said he was doing it wrong, I think he like grabbed his arm instead of putting the three fingers up. But like he's there for that. And I had a theory during last game that I was like, I thought that Brooks might try something funny with AD's shoulder just to test it out. I said if that happens, Tristan Thompson got to come off the bench. He got to start swinging. Like he got to be the enforcer, even though you know what I'm saying he doesn't have the voice of an enforcer. But that's what you're here for, bro. You're here to get a little rugged. You know what I'm saying? This is Philly versus Net. What you talking about? The game that's on right now, or you talking about the last series that D'Lo played? What we talking about? Young Drubert. You know what I'm saying? Before you take your nap, you know what I'm saying, for the day. You know what I'm saying? Before you hit the town and get real sleepy on them. Oh, I thought this was something important. I forgot this. What can the Lakers do to fix the JJJ post ups? I don't know if you like. Of course, like Bron, he was giving Bron the blues for sure, and maybe Bron is a little more locked in, get to him a little earlier, because I don't think like JJJ is so physically overwhelming that Bron is gonna like get cooked like this all the time. But like do the work early. I don't think you necessarily need to switch AD onto him at any point in this series. I don't think he's gonna, like I said, I don't think he's gonna play that well again, even if it's the same kind of game plan. Because like a lot of those attempts were just nasty, but he just has a nasty game in general. Oh, okay, my stream is better than the game. I respect it, you know what I'm saying? But I don't think that JJJ is gonna replicate that in the same way. Like a lot of those attempts were off balance, like weird footed. Of course, like I said, he plays like that. But like I think if you activate AD off ball a little bit more, maybe shade him a little more to the action, because like he's not, especially with Jile, like who's the other significant guy out there is Bane. Like, so sometimes I'm of the belief that you just let a guy cook, particularly a guy who doesn't get others involved in the offense like that. So maybe you just let him score 30 a night. Like that's an option. You just let him score 30 a night. I just realized I've been looking down at the screen and the camera's been over. I ain't been looking at the camera all day. But you just let him get his points off, and then you just live with whatever you make sure nobody else like cooks you like that. But yeah, JJJ was getting but yeah, I don't think it's something that I'm too worried about particularly, because one, I don't think he's going to replicate it that often to the extent that it was, and two, even if he does do it, like they still need other people to step up, and I'm not. I guess Bane is the next available candidate. Maybe Brooks has a game where he actually makes those nasty looking jumpers, but like I think sometimes you just got to live with it. I don't think they're gonna like, oh, we're just gonna live with it. But I think like them diverting extra defensive resources to him isn't something that I would do yet. You know what I'm saying? Because it hasn't been like, of course he did what he did in game one, but I wasn't like, I never thought that game was in jeopardy at any point. Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't think he was gonna will them to something, because like for all of the things he was doing, like it was still a lot of like layups, and like it wasn't a lot of forceful like momentum shifting things. He made some threes, of course, and stuff like that, but like certain guys you kind of gotta stop them from doing things because they swing the energy of the building. Like I don't think his buckets are of that variety. So, but you could always either switch AD onto him, given that Josh probably not going to be there for a minute, or just give a couple extra dig downs. You know what I'm saying? D'Lo can do that. Austin can do that. You know what I'm saying? Guys on the perimeter. They tried to activate Rui on him. Rui's a little too small in some respects, but he's shown to be a good weak side like rim protector. So like just maybe send some extra attention to him earlier. Send it to him as he starts his move to go to the rim. Like, but other than that, I just live with it until he proves that he can actually beat you in that way. We at 88 minutes. I think 90 minutes might be a good stream, unless, you know what I'm saying, somebody else dying to know something. I think any further than about 10 more minutes, and I'm gonna probably pay for it on the back end. But you know what I'm saying? This was a good time. I had a good time. It's probably one of the better streams. Hopefully, let me make sure. I'm gonna see, because if I've been doing this and this sound been bad and y'all haven't told me, I'm gonna be highly upset. Let's see. Let's see. Is the properties. Okay, let me make sure the mic's still plugged in. It seems to be in working order. Okay. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? This is probably one of the first streams in a minute that's not gonna sound like I was underwater for half the stream. You know what I'm saying? So if that's all y'all got, that's all I got. I don't think I'm gonna be back before Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? I just did this on the spur of the moment kind of thing. Shout out to the Wolves fans if y'all still here. Sound been good, appreciate it. My brother almost said your birthday again. You know what I'm saying? The dynamic duo. I ain't seen you on what you gonna call it? Dynamic doing. I almost said bro name wrong. I just lost the stream. Hold on. We back. Yeah. But like I was saying, started to echo all good though. Yeah, I gotta it's an echo like sometimes that was another thing that would be going on. I don't know if it's because I got two audio channels or what's going on, but sometimes it just echoes and like I'd rather have an echo and you can hear me than like you not be able to hear me. Now it sounds like I'm underwater. Maybe I unplugged it trying to see if it was plugged up. Maybe I was talking into the back of the mic. What it sound like now? See, it's still on there. I got the filters on there that get rid of the computer noise, all that good stuff. Let me know something before I leave the stream. If Ja doesn't play, who would you put Vando on? I talked about this earlier. I think probably Bane is the most logical choice, just because like process of elimination, he's probably the only other guy who can do something to you at this point. Because at a certain point, like, is Vando like gonna? He's still gonna have use as like a rebounder and stuff like that. As soon as I started messing with stuff, he got cooked. I didn't really do anything. I just checked to see. I didn't move any sliders or anything. I just checked to see if it was still plugged in. Like, let me see. Y'all gonna hear me for a second. I do want to hear how it sounds myself. Let me see. Oh, it still sounds okay though. Wait, does it? Yeah, it's an echo, but it's like I live with the echo. As long as y'all can hear me, then I'm cool. I'll figure out the echo next time, maybe. Because I know if I do this, it's gonna sound trash. So I'm not even gonna do that. But yeah, I think that's all I got. Because I'm doing all this bending down now, I'm starting to feel it. So I'm gonna go put this tinge unit on. I'm gonna show y'all what real ballers do. You know what I'm saying? When they this is what real balling is. You know what I'm saying? I've been telling people about being caked up out here, but you know what I'm saying? It's another way for me to flaunt what I got out here. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody out here doing it like me in the back patch game. You know what I'm saying? You ain't never seen a back patch fan. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Get your pain relief up. You know what I'm saying? Out here, light a cane for days. Not light a cane. What's it these? I don't know. But you know what I'm saying? We ain't out here on no small stuff. We got the extra large. I just want you to see that XL. We got those because the smaller ones are trash and they kept falling off. You know what I'm saying? We got the Absorbine Plus though. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? 1, 2, 3. You know what I'm saying? Get your money up. You know what I'm saying? I gotta throw these away. Y'all didn't see these up. But I was caked up today too. You know what I'm saying? I get like 5 a week. You know what I'm saying? We caked up out here. Nothing but cakes on the bag. You know what I'm saying? You see the logo. It's probably upside down. But yeah, boy, we out here living. You know what I'm saying? We doing the big out here. Some toothpaste filled that I just bought. It was in that bag with the it was in the bag with the heat packs that I forgot was in there, so I'm gonna get that. And yeah. I sound like I'm making computer love. Oh my god, bro, it's cooked. It's good. It's all good though. You know what I'm saying? I get my money up, so I get a technician in here. I get the finest mics you ever seen. You know what I'm saying? Back patches and mics. Title of my new mixtape coming soon. On this mic right here. This is the bars mic. That's why I had it. I got this mic in 2010. No, I got it in 2008. I think. Yeah, I got the mic in 2008, and I got the first MacBook in 2010, and we was to the moon, brother. We was out here giving you bars, high quality. We had some of the best sound in the city. We were some of the first dudes that actually showed people it was possible to make music, and it didn't sound like straight dog water. We used to rap. We used to have a mic like taped up to the wall, and it had a glove on it, and that was our pop filter. We was doing it real big. We had a Radio Shack mic, and then we upgraded to this right here. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the pops. My dad, we bought all this stuff, and then he got the mic stand and the pop filter, all that stuff free, just by, you know what I'm saying, knowing how to talk to the people. You know what I'm saying? But I've had that ever since. I can't really. Oh, I'm just now showing the patches on the stream. I don't know how this delay is, but yeah, we coming out hot. What is it? Mics and heat patches. Tentative title 2023 summer release maybe. I don't think I'm writing no bars that fast. Fall 2020 release, you know what I'm saying, when you really need them heat patches to counteract that cold outside. So, yeah, y'all gonna see me soon. Back in these bar streets. Might have a ballad on there, Computer Love remix or something. You never know. But I'm about to get out of here. 95 minutes is enough. Streaming any longer than that, as a person who's not playing video games or something, I think it's gonna be diminishing returns on my brain. So I see y'all. Go watch this other game. Say what's up to my brothers in the chat, you know what I'm saying, in the actual chat. And yeah. Till next time, brothers. And or sisters, if you know what I'm saying, and our non-binary homies that might be in the chat, you know what I'm saying. We don't want to disrespect nobody's gender up in here. But yeah. About to end the stream. I don't remember how. I think you gotta end it in YouTube. So I'm about to do that. So excuse me while I'm gonna show y'all some things y'all weren't supposed to see. But I'm gonna do that, and I'll see y'all later. I thought that said